What if I told you the difference between staying broke and building real wealth isn't about luck, talent, or even how much you earn, but the way you think? One simple shift in mindset can take you from barely surviving to living like the rich. In this video, I'm going to reveal the financial success secrets inspired by Jim Rohn that the wealthy use every single day. How to think bigger than your current paycheck, how to start small but build unstoppable momentum, and how to act like the rich long before you ever have a fortune. If you stay until the end, you'll walk away with a mindset blueprint that could completely change your financial future. Think big, start small, act like the rich. These are not just words. They are powerful mindset shifts that separate those who stay stuck from those who achieve financial freedom. Inspired by the timeless teachings of Jim Rohn, one of the greatest business philosophers of the 20th century, this approach is about changing the way you think about money, success, and the actions you take every day. Jim Rohn often said, "Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better." And when it comes to wealth, the truth is that success leaves clues. The rich think in patterns, they act with intention, and they build habits that most people ignore. If you want to transform your finances, you don't need to win the lottery or wait for some miracle. What you need is a new way of thinking, a strategy that anyone can apply no matter where they are starting. The first part of this mindset is think big. Thinking big is not about daydreaming or imagining yourself in a mansion without action. It is about setting a vision that is larger than your current circumstances. Jim Rohn taught that your income rarely exceeds your level of personal development. If you want more money, you must first become more valuable. Thinking big means asking yourself, what skills can I master? What value can I provide that is worth 10 times what I earn today? The rich don't limit their goals to paying bills or surviving until the next paycheck. They think in terms of building legacies, creating assets, and designing lifestyles that give them freedom. But here's the trap many fall into. They think big, but never move. They imagine success, but feel paralyzed because the gap between where they are and where they want to be looks too wide. That's why the second step is crucial. Start small. Every great fortune began with a single step, often a very small one. Jim Rohn built his own fortune by starting as a farm boy with nothing, then learning from a mentor who showed him how to grow. If you earn just a little, start by saving $1. If you want to invest, start with what you can. If you want to start a business, begin with a simple idea tested on a small scale. Most people wait until they have the perfect amount of money, time, or knowledge before they start. The wealthy understand that perfection never comes. They build momentum through small, consistent action. Starting small also removes fear. Imagine someone who wants to write a book. Thinking big, they picture a bestseller in bookstores worldwide. But if they never write the first page, the book stays locked in their mind. The same is true for your finances. Want to save $1 million? Start with $10. Want to own real estate? Start by learning how to manage your own budget. Small beginnings compound. Jim Rohn explained that discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs tons. The small act of setting aside even 5% of your income every month creates a snowball effect. Over time, that snowball grows into wealth, not because you had a miracle, but because you planted seeds early. Now, once you think big and start small, you must also adopt the final principle: act like the rich. But here's the catch. Acting like the rich doesn't mean spending like them. It means learning their habits, their values, and their approach to money. The rich don't act rich by showing off. They act rich by making money work for them. They focus on assets, not liabilities. They invest before they spend. They track their finances. They build multiple streams of income. Acting rich means adopting the behaviors that build wealth, not the image of wealth. So what does it really mean to act like the rich? First, it means valuing money differently. Most people see money only as something to spend. They earn, they pay bills, they buy what they want, and whatever is left disappears quickly. The wealthy, however, treat money as a tool. Jim Rohn explained that money is like a seed. If you consume it all, it dies with you, but if you plant it, it multiplies. Acting rich is about planting seeds, not eating them all at once. When the average person gets an extra $100, they often rush to buy something new. But when someone with a wealth mindset receives that same $100, they ask, How can this money create more money? That difference is what creates long-term freedom. Second, acting rich means learning delayed gratification. Many people are enslaved by their desire for instant pleasure. They buy the latest gadgets, the newest clothes, or the flashy car to impress people who aren't even watching. The wealthy do the opposite. They invest first, then use the rewards of their investments to buy luxuries later. Jim Rohn used to say that you should learn to live below your means, not because of sacrifice, but because it buys you freedom. Acting rich is not about living cheap, it's about being strategic. The person who invests wisely for 10 years can live with more abundance later than the person who spends recklessly for 10 years and then wonders where their money went. Third, acting rich means surrounding yourself with the right influences. Wealthy people know the power of environment. They spend time with mentors, investors, thinkers, and creators. They learn from those who are ahead of them rather than those who only complain. If you are always around people who think small, you will naturally lower your vision. But if you spend time with people who are building wealth, your mindset will shift automatically. Jim Rohn famously said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." If you want to change your financial destiny, look around and ask, who am I spending my time with? Do they inspire me to grow or drag me down? Fourth, acting rich involves systems. The wealthy automate their success. They have budgets, they track income, they set aside money for investments automatically. They don't rely on willpower alone because they know discipline fades. If you want to act like the rich, create systems that protect your money from your impulses. For example, set up an automatic transfer that saves or invests 10% of every paycheck before you touch it. This one action forces you to build wealth without daily effort. Finally, acting rich means thinking in terms of long-term value instead of short-term excitement. When faced with a choice, the poor mindset asks, "What will this do for me today?" The rich mindset asks, "What will this do for me 5 years from now?" This shift in thinking affects everything: investments, career moves, business decisions, even relationships. Wealthy people know that patience combined with action creates unstoppable results. Think big, start small, act like the rich. It's a cycle. Thinking big gives you direction, starting small gives you momentum, and acting rich gives you habits that build wealth. And here's the key: you don't need to wait until you have a lot of money to start. You can adopt this mindset today, even if you're broke. The habits of saving, learning, investing in yourself, surrounding yourself with the right people, and delaying gratification are free to practice right now. Wealth begins in the mind long before it appears in the bank account. The truth is, financial success is not a mystery. Jim Rohn spent his life teaching simple but profound principles. He showed that ordinary people could build extraordinary wealth if they were willing to change their mindset. Success is predictable when you apply the right formula. And the formula is this: grow yourself, provide more value, start with what you have, and let your habits carry you forward. Now let's bring it all together. You've learned that thinking big gives you the vision, starting small builds momentum, and acting rich creates the habits that sustain wealth. But here's the deeper truth. Financial success is less about what you do with your hands and more about what you do with your mind. Jim Rohn often said that success is 20% mechanics and 80% mindset. That means you don't need the perfect business idea or the biggest paycheck to begin. You need the right mental framework. Once your mind shifts, your actions follow naturally, and over time, your bank account mirrors your new identity. Think about it this way. If someone gave a poor thinker $1 million, within a short time they would often be broke again. Why? Because the mindset didn't match the money. But if you give someone with a wealth mindset even a small amount, they will multiply it, protect it, and grow it until it becomes something significant. This is why lottery winners go bankrupt while self-made entrepreneurs rise from nothing. The mindset comes first, the money comes later. So how do you build this financial success mindset daily? Start with personal development. Read books, listen to mentors, study the strategies of people who built wealth before you. Jim Rohn himself was mentored by Earl Schoff, and he admitted that without guidance he would have stayed broke. Learning from others saves you years of trial and error. The next step is discipline. Every day you make choices with money: spend or save, invest or waste, consume or create. Each choice is a vote for your future self. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. Without it, thinking big is just fantasy. Another practical way to strengthen this mindset is to track your progress. The wealthy don't live in denial about their finances. They know their numbers. They set goals, track their net worth, and measure growth over time. Even if your net worth today is negative, write it down and begin the journey. What gets measured improves. Jim Rohn emphasized that you cannot change what you ignore. By facing your financial reality, you take control of it instead of letting it control you. Finally, commit to the long game. The greatest obstacle to financial success is impatience. Too many people quit before the compounding of their efforts has time to show results. Wealth is rarely built in weeks. It is built in years of consistent action. If you start small today and remain faithful, the results will surprise you. Just like planting a tree, you won't see fruit immediately. But if you water it, protect it, and nurture it, one day it will grow into something massive. So, here is the challenge for you. Think bigger than your current paycheck. Start small with what you have today, and act like the rich by building habits that create freedom. Don't wait for perfect conditions. They will never come. Don't wait until you have more money, because more money without discipline just magnifies bad habits. Begin now, with the mindset of someone who is destined for wealth. Jim Rohn's message was clear. You have the power to design your own financial destiny. Success is not reserved for the lucky or the privileged. It belongs to those who decide to think differently, act consistently, and grow daily. So as you move forward, remember this. Think big to set your vision. Start small to create momentum. Act like the rich to build habits that guarantee wealth. Combine these three, and financial freedom won't just be a dream, it will be your reality.